If I ever saw a card trick like this, I would have no choice but to believe in magic. If this card trick is not one of the most basic magician foolers that you have ever seen, I will give you all my money. Okay, well, if this is not the most basic fooling card trick that you can do with a little bit of practice, I will reconsider this whole magic thing. And I promise you, if done right, no one will figure this out. Alright, yo, so check this out. For those of you who are curious, these are the Orbit 6th edition playing cards. And this trick is actually just, it's absolutely phenomenal. I don't even know how else to describe it, but this trick is just absolutely phenomenal, alright? So we start off by first giving the deck a bit of a shuffle like this. And now I want you to go ahead and select any card that you want from the deck. Let's just say this card right over here. Take a look at it and memorize it, alright? Once you have that card memorized, I'll go through the cards again. You can take the card, place it wherever you want. Let's just say right around here. Take the card, place it right here. That's the most fair thing. Gonna smash out the rest of the deck, and now you can see the card is probably lost somewhere in the center of this deck. Now here's where it gets fun, because I want to give the deck to you now, and I want you to shuffle it up any way you want. So if you want to shuffle it up like this, you can shuffle it up like this. If you want to shuffle it up like this, you can shuffle it up like this. If you want to shuffle it up like this, right, where you're just messing the cards, okay, the cards are falling off the screen. If you're just messing up the cards like this, you can do whatever you want, all right? So go ahead, shuffle up the deck. And this is probably the most fun part that I have about this, is because you can truly shuffle it up any way that you like. And excuse my shuffling, I don't think I've ever actually shuffled like this. All right, there we go. Let's just say you're satisfied with that shuffle, and you want to square up the deck now, which usually takes a bit of time, so give me 1 second. All right, then you want to end the whole trick with one single cut, all right? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put all the cards out like this, and your card itself is actually gonna draw me towards it. So check this out. Okay, I'm getting a feeling that your card is not in this half. We're gonna get rid of this half. Your card is somewhere over here. All right, shuffle this up just a little bit more. I feel like it kind of recalibrates where I'm supposed to be guiding myself to. Okay, I think your card is not in this pile this time. I was drawn to this pile. Again, let's shuffle this up a little bit more. Okay, let's see, we have 2 aces, 2 eights, 2 jacks. You know, I'm gonna go towards more the color red. I feel like I'm seeing more red. Go ahead and go through. I think it's one of these 4 cards. None of them really stand out, but if I center in, I can get rid of these 2 aces, and we're left with one of these. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like the card that you selected was this card right here, the 8 of diamonds. That's pretty cool. Let's go. What up, crew? It is Magic Monday, and this is your place to learn magic, master performance, and captivate audiences. If you're joining me here for the first time, hi there, my name is Vineet. To give you some background on this trick, this is from the Card College Series Volume 1, and it's known as Red Black Location. It's absolutely wild how this card trick works, and the craziest part is, it's based off the most simple concept of can you spot the difference. So before we dive into the tutorial, make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe, grab your favorite deck of playing cards, and now, let's do it. Alright, yo, check it. So you know how I talked about the principle of can you spot the difference? That's exactly how this trick works, alright? And let me demonstrate this for you by using 4 black cards and 4 red cards. If I have you select any card from this packet, let's just say I have the cards face down, have you select any card from this packet. Let's say you select from the top half of this packet. And now I instruct you to put it back in the bottom half of this packet. And by instruct you to place it in the bottom half of the packet, I mean like discreetly and indirectly suggest that you put it on the bottom half of the packet. So once that card goes in, and if you view the cards, you automatically know what the selected card is, because that's the card that's out of place, and that's the one card that's different. We have 3 red cards here together, but for some reason here, we have a bunch of black cards together and 1 red card. Therefore, the card that was selected was the red card. That is the basic principle of this entire trick. However, it's not just that simple, because we step it up a few notches and make it almost impossible to see what the foundation of the trick is. Now, before we get started, I do want to let you know that this trick does require a bit of a setup, and you probably guessed what the setup is. You want to first split the cards into reds and blacks. Let's do that now. Okay, that didn't take too long, not too shabby. So now that we have the deck split up into 2 piles, you're going to put 1 pile on top of the other, or 1 pile underneath the other. I'm going to put the red cards on top, the black cards are going to be on the bottom. What's going to happen now is whenever you're doing a card trick, right, you want to start by first taking the cards out of the tuck case, obviously, and then giving the cards a shuffle. And obviously, if you shuffle up these playing cards like you normally do, it's going to mix up the order, and the blacks will not be with all the blacks, and the reds will not be with all the reds. So that's going to cause chaos. However, in the book Card College, there is a beautiful shuffle that I read about for this trick, and it works so well. Here's what's going to go down. So you really want to pay close attention, because when I saw it done, like myself when I did it, it blew my mind how well it worked. If you want to use the shuffle for anything else, please do, but it is the craziest, best shuffle. Oh my god. Sorry, I may have gone a bit overboard selling the shuffle, but it's just so good. The way that it works is in a couple of packets, you want to throw off approximately 20 playing cards while doing the overhand shuffle. So I throw a couple of cards over, throw a couple of cards over, until I feel like I'm almost halfway to the deck. Now, I don't know how many cards that is, but I'm going to say that's approximately 20. You want to make sure it's less than half, but not a lot less than half. Maybe like 6 to 8 cards less than half. Now you're going to single shuffle. So you're going to peel off single cards from the top, approximately 10 to 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The rest of these cards you're going to throw over in small packets, and that's going to end the shuffle. Ultimately, what that just did is it reversed the red and black cards, and you can see now all the bottom cards are red and all the top cards are black. How insane is that? For any card trick that you want to do like reds and blacks, you do that shuffle, it looks like a real shuffle, and the cards are still split. It's so good. So one more time up to speed, we throw over a couple of chunks of playing cards, then we do a couple of single peels, and then we throw over the rest. And that's going to reverse the order that we had. And I can see we have all blacks and we have all reds. It is so awesome. So let's just say we did our shuffle, and now the red cards are on the bottom, black cards are on top. Now you instruct the spectator to select a card. Ideally, you want them to select from the bottom half, and I'll tell you why later on in the trick that's important. But what I like to do is quickly spread through the cards and ask them to select any card they want, and I direct them more towards the bottom half in a very subtle way, right? So as I quickly go through the top, and as they're reaching in, I scoot, or not scoot, that's a weird word to say. I make my way to the bottom of the deck and have them select a red card. So now they selected a red card, it is the 7 of hearts. When they're returning this card, all we're gonna do is spread the top half, except this time we're gonna spread very slowly, because if you take your time with spreading cards, most likely spectators are gonna put it in the half that you are spreading very slowly. So let's just say you have them return it in this half. So right, remember that card is the 7 of hearts, and I put it in this half. If we square up the deck now, obviously, like we talked about in the principle in the beginning, we have all the red cards here, we have all black cards, and there's one single red card that we see. So I guess the main idea now is, or the main issue that we have now, main challenge that we have now, is how are we gonna look at the cards and see which one card is indifferent? Obviously, you can just take a look at the cards and be like, oh, okay, this is your card. But I feel like that's just a very stupid trick. No offense to anyone who likes to do that kind of trick. It's just very plain, very, very beginner level. So we take it even further, right? So at this point, we've shuffled up the deck, the card has been selected, and it's been put back. We know that one card is going to stand out. So now what you do is in the aspect, or in your presentation, you're going to tell the spectator to shuffle up the deck. So I like to put the deck down, and actually before I even do that, what I like to do is I like to spread out the cards once the card has been put in, just to show the spectator their card is somewhere in the deck. What this does is it takes the cards out of your hands, so the spectator feels like you actually have no control where the card is, and there's no way you can manipulate any way that the card's being held by a break or anything. So now you're going to tell them they can shuffle up the deck as much as they'd like. But before you give it to them, you demonstrate possible ways to shuffle up the deck. So you put the deck down on the table and you say, let me show you. You can shuffle up the cards, and you can shuffle them up any way that you want. So what I like to do is I like to do a tabled riffle shuffle. So I come here, I split the deck, all right, as close to halfway as possible. And now as I start riffling, you want to hold the cards a bit further away from you. But as I start riffling, I'll see the indices of the cards on the left-hand side. So I'm pulling the top half to the left. And as I'm riffling, like I said, you're seeing the indices of these cards. And you're looking for the one card that stands out. So let me do it for you right here. You'll see that that's one card is the 7 of hearts. This is going to get much easier with practice, but hopefully that makes sense. You're riffling through. You may want to start slow at first, do a little bit of practicing like this just to see if you can view that card very quickly. And then when you actually do a riffle shuffle, You're going through riffling like this. Again, the cards are facing in your direction. Spectator doesn't see the order of the cards. You see your 7 of hearts. I don't think I actually saw it, but there you go. You see the 7 of hearts. You continue to shuffle, push the cards in. You can say you can shuffle like this. You can shuffle like this. And then you can even tell them to mix up the cards like this. And that's why I like doing that, because it's just so much fun, so much more interactive when the spectator can just jumble up the cards and it's completely out of your control. You have no idea where that card is, a card's gonna land. So now that you know what the card is, you can do the reveal in any way that you like. I'm not gonna cover too much in detail on that, but you can kind of see what I did for my performance. The only issue I have with shuffling this way is it takes me like a minute or a couple seconds to square the cards back up. But you know, once the cards are squared back up, you'll obviously see they're in some order. If you want to do what I did for my performance, I kind of just said the card will guide me in selecting it, and then I saw where the 7 of hearts was. I eliminated everything that's not the 7 of hearts in giving any kind of random logic, because if you use any logic for anything in card magic, whether it makes sense or not, people will tend to agree with you, right? So you can get rid of cards here and there and be like, oh, I'm centering in on one card. Or there's one card between the 2 aces. You just literally make something up on the spot, and it will drive people nuts. It's absolutely fantastic. And I guarantee you, if I saw this card trick anywhere and I knew the deck wasn't marked in any way or anything, it would absolutely fool me and blow me away. If you want to see another effect that you can do with this exact same setup and that amazing shuffle we talked about, click on this video right here. You will love this card trick because till this day, it's still one of my favorites. Thanks so much for spending your time with me. Love you guys. Have a great day ahead, and I'll see you in the next video. Deck drop.